Yeah, assalamu alaikum. This is Brother Clifton Raheem Bradley out of Chicago, the United States of America. Ramadan Mubarak and assalamu alaikum. And what I'm going to talk about, I'm expecting a guest to come on to discuss Islam. And at some point, this will be in my past, and this show will be in my past, and it will be in your future. And you can use this for case study to learn about Islam and what Islam represents. Five pillars of Islam. Why do we celebrate Ramadan? And supposed to be, I'm expecting a guest is somebody that converted from Christianity to Islam. And he has not come yet. Perhaps he's having some type of technical problems. And the thing is, you can never say why somebody decided not to show out there late. But I'm used to being prompt. But this show is scheduled to talk about the core beliefs of Islam and to discuss the five pillars of Islam. Okay. In the Quran, in the life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we will take a look at media and how media has said things that are daunting or things that are bad about Islam, and look at the media and look at the influence that it has in this society, in this culture. And the thing is, if my guest does not show up, what I would do is due to unforeseen circumstances, I should have to reschedule because sometimes things do not work out as you plan. So we plan, but Allah plans, God plans, and God is the best planner of all. This is just how it is. We can become disappointed become disappointed about something and not understand the ways. So, like for example, I had an automobile that was stolen from me, but before I was a Muslim, I would have been bent out of shape. Oh, somebody took my automobile. Somebody would have been mad. Somebody would have been upset. But you know what? But as I read my Quran, a book called the Quran, Muslims, I understand that there will be good things that will befall us, and there will be bad things that will befall us. So I did not get bent out of shape for the individual that who knows they may be looking now that took my automobile because I know that we will be tested in our beliefs. It is easy to pray to seek refuge in God, Allah, when things are going good. Okay. But when things happen that could be catastrophic to interfere with your normal lifestyle by altering your pattern, we could get disgruntled. We can get mad. We can get angry. But I did not because you know what? I went somewhere in a corner, as they say, and seek refuge in God, Allah. You want to say, Yah, I seek refuge in God. And understand for those that are trying to live in accordance with what Allah, God wants, bad things will befall you. And you, as an individual, will be sent through trials and tribulations to test you to see if you believe what you truly said you believe in. Will you still when you don't have enough money, will you forget to make your salats intentionally because you're mad about the circumstance that altered and changed your lifestyle? And you know what? You have to be thankful to the creator, whether it is good, the good comes from Allah, the bad comes from ourselves, or we can be tested on our belief by going through a hardship, okay, going through something that transforms or changes, something that's traumatic, that's hard, and your heart can become hard-hearted, and you must seek refuge in God, Allah, even even if you fall on a hardship. You just can't pray when things are going up, but our imams, our faith goes up and down, like the stock market. It goes up and down. But you know what? But we must seek refuge in God, even when there's things that disappoint us, when there are people that in our lives that die. You know, but we must not get bent out of shape. We must not, because you have to understand that a individual that is in your life, whether it's your mother or your father, they are on loan to you from the creator. They are on loan. See, the people in the back in the classroom, okay, there's an image behind me. If I lend them $20, okay, we do it without their parents' permission. But if I lend them $20, I have the right to ask for that $20 back any time I want to, unless it's scribed in writing. Okay. So when we look at life, we must not get bent out of shape, upset, angry, boo hoo 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 hoo, because God has decided to take them back. Okay, because that person's soul is from God, Allah. So just like I said, you cannot get upset about the $20. Can't get upset. You should not really, really, really get upset if there's somebody you love, the mother, father, daughter, a sister, and whoever, uncle, whatever. Once they die, you should strive not to get upset, because like I lent the $20 to the people behind me, that life that was that person is here by the permission of Allah God. And so therefore that life, that very life, okay, that when that person comes into your life, that person is on loan to you. Okay, your mother, your father, your daughter, your aunt, your stepbrother, your steps. So therefore, you must pray for them and hope they accepted your religion, which for me is Islam, of choice. And if they did not, that's between them, because the thing is, before somebody dies, you don't know what religion. I may be asking somebody, come to Islam, and they say they're going to stay exactly where they are, which is their right, because there's in the Quran, there's no compulsion. Compulsion means nobody can force you to be another denomination. Okay. So therefore, there's foolishness around here that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he spread it, Islam with the sword. Okay. This is not correct. Okay. So therefore, that person doesn't may not, they may accept the religion on their deathbed. And they may have said, you know what, I thought about what he said, and you know what, he's correct. But pray for him. And you know what? I say Go to their funerals and view a different religion. Go in and view the body, and you know what? If you think if it's a blasphemy to your religion, you know what? Go out and come out. Then go out when the pastor, the minister, the imam gets to talking. Then you go out and then you just go to the burial. Okay, if you want to, you know. So this. You know what? I did not plan for this show to be like this, but you know what? People I'm learning people prioritize with their time the way they want to. Years ago, I would have been upset, I would have been disappointed, but you know what? But like I said, going through Ramadan, I'm reading my Quran. Say we plan, but Allah plans. But you know what? But people have a right. They have a right not to be on time. And there's circumstances that come up that prevent that. They have a right. Okay. Denzel Washington said it. And he's an actor for people that don't know in the United States. He said, when you invite somebody and they do not get mad, don't get upset because they have a right to participate in your endeavor if they want to. Okay. But if they do not want to participate, you accept that. And I was listening to Denzel Washington. He said, you go on with your endeavor. I'm gonna say at your party, and you don't let anybody destroy that. You don't. And you know what? Because your time is not valuable to a whole lot of people. And then people, but I'm gonna say circumstances come up, then people they show you who they really are. And you know what? I'm not saying in the instance of my guest because there could have been a tragedy. But the point that I'm getting across is, you know what? They have a right to change their mind. They have a right. But you know what? But do not let this stop your party or your endeavor and what you want to do. Like, if, for example, if I want to do something and bring my wife up, if I decide, hey, I want to do something, and she says, you know what? I don't want to go. I have no reason whatsoever to get upset, angry, mad, disgruntled, because that's a person's right. A person has a God given right to make a choice. Just as in Islam, okay, we go to the religion, there's no compulsion in Islam. I cannot force somebody to be a Muslim. I cannot. You know what? I cannot. All my job is to give dawah, and dawah means is to invite them to what I perceive is the truth. But most certainly have no reason to get angry, upset, mad, sickening, or detest because of that, because there's no compulsion in Islam. So I'm going to end this broadcast, okay? And inshallah, if it's the will of Allah, I will be on Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central Time in the United States in Chicago, Illinois. But if I don't come on, I have over 1,000 videos that you can look at on on my social media platforms, okay? And by seeing this in the future, who knows? YouTube might not be relevant, Facebook might not be relevant, Tumblr might not be relevant, but it will circulate, because one thing about it, when it's in cyberspace, it's forever. So you know what? So the people that are looking at me in the future, you know what? Think about Islam. Consider Islam. And again, this is not to try to force anybody. You have the right to choose what you want to choose. Okay. But I would say for me, it has worked, it has changed, it has transformed my life and made me a better individual. Not meaning that I'm still a flawed individual. I'm still a flawed individual. The only one that was the perfect example for me, and millions of other Muslims is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he's the perfect example, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm trying to emulate. I'm trying to emulate him, trying to be like him. And the thing is, this is the thing to do. So I encourage you to wait, if you're not a Muslim, to consider and to investigate. Investigate it, because media has been weaponized in the United States. I don't know about over the world, to demonize Islam, to say the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with a sword and forced people to come into Islam. This is a lie. Okay, so if you go to the Quran, they say that there is no compulsion. You cannot be forced to be a Muslim. This is one of the greatest lies of a told. And to say that Allah has partners. This is a lie. This is a lie. So you know what? So I'm gonna leave you in the greeting words of Assalamu alaikum. And that means peace and blessings be upon you. And if you enjoy this broadcast, I ask you humbly to please share it on your social media platform, and give a thumbs up, because what happens is, within the internet, there's something called algorithms. When it sees somebody press the like button, that tells YouTube and other social media platforms, oh, you know what, we might spread this. But you know what? But I know, even by me saying it, I won't get any more than what Allah wants me to have. Whoever sees this, they're supposed to see it. So if somebody taps, fine. But I know who's in control. I know who's in control. So I ask you humbly, you know what, on my website, social media website, on YouTube specifically, I have a website where you can send a donation to my PayPal account if you want to, or you can buy a T-shirt, okay, to support the Underground Railroad podcast and television show. Or if you can't do that, I humbly ask you to pray for me in my endeavor to create better media content and meaningful content. You know, whether I'm talking about the world order, Islam, um, community activists, or baseball, sports. Because one thing about my show, you know what, we don't talk about one thing. I talk about a multitude of things, and makes it kind of hard, I guess. Kind of, for it makes it kind of hard for the search engines and the algorithms to try to figure out, what is this guy. We don't know how to put him in a particular category. But there are some people that come on social media platforms, and all they do is just talk about one thing, and I don't do that. Okay. But I say, if there's one person that is watching, praise be to Allah. If there's 1,000, or 10, or 15, or one, if this message gets to one person and it impacts their life, okay, they may come to Islam. I would get some blessings for that. In Islam, there's a merit system. Okay. So the more little good deeds that I can get on that scale, this may be the very thing from keeping me from Gianna out of hellfires, because I have not always been a good person. But Islam has transformed my life, but I still signify, you know, that I am a flawed person, and you know what? I'm most certainly not what I should be. I'm forming. I'm trying to form into what I should be. And Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he is the best example for me and Muslims that are within Islam, within the religion of Islam. So I'm going to say Ramadan Mubarak. Happy Ramadan. Whether you're looking at this before Ramadan or after Ramadan, congratulations on the success. And that's all I can really say. And people that are looking, if it's one person, all praises to Allah. You know what? I get I get the benefit of whatever Allah has allotted for me, whatever Allah doesn't want me to have. You can't give it to me on gold or silver, a platinum platter, and it's going to succeed. But I'm genuinely trying to put out good content, not something that's evil, something that's pessimistic, and something that goes against the will of God, no matter which denomination you come from. I'm not trying to put that out. So I'm trying to highlight people. And people ask me, why don't you, well, you do this, why don't you interview the imams? Imams in Islam are like the religious leaders. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm striving to talk to people that might not, under normal circumstances, get the opportunity to tell their story. I'm not talking, generally, I'm not talking to the individual that's in the front of the room like I am right now. I'm trying to talk to the people that's in the back of the room. And you may say, why? Psychologically, I was the individual that sat in the back of the room. And I'm more interested in talking to people that 9 times out of 10 do not get the exposure. They will never get the exposure that the imam, their leaders, their teachers say, but because everybody has a story. So I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the last messenger and prophet of God. So I'm going to greet you, say assalamu alaikum, and give this a thumbs up. If you don't like what I'm saying, give me a thumbs down. You know what? Because you can give me some constructive criticism, because you know what? Constructive criticism gives you the ability to grow. Okay. And you can take constructive criticism when you know yourself. And Whitney Houston said, I'm learning to love myself. And you know what? That is the greatest love of all. But really, the greatest love of all is really loving God. Okay. That was just a song. But constructive criticism is good. I've learned a lot from constructive criticism. And I want to thank you for all of the content producers on YouTube and other social media platforms that taught me about green screen and taught me how to use Final Cut Pro, and also thank my instructors at Kennedy King College in Chicago in the United States, Professor Dow and Mr. Abraham. And you know what, because that is my major. My major is media production. It's not to get a job, because it is to enhance my ability to be able to disseminate information and to be more effective. Okay. And as Professor Abraham says, you know what? Knowledge is the key. My Professor Abraham said one thing at Kennedy King in year 2024. He said, continue getting more knowledge. And I said, why? You say, because technology is consistently or constantly changing. And I learned a lot from both of these. And inshallah, Mr. Will of Allah, I'm going to probably end up going back to school to finish to get my degree. But again, it is not for a job. It's to enhance my ability to be able to produce better quality content for social media and who knows what else. Okay. But I'm grateful for the Kennedy King and Mr. Frazier at Can TV in Chicago. Okay. At 1300 South Wood Street, Can TV. He encouraged me to, I was about to hang it up in college, but he encouraged me to, hey man, go ahead and finish it. He encouraged me to go ahead and get a MacBook. He said, get a MacBook. Okay. It's going to keep my MacBook, and that's an Apple computer. And he encouraged me. But there are different people that encourage you in life, and we all need some type of encouragement. But again, you must not seek refuge in that person. We must, we must seek refuge in God or Allah. We're the ones that missed the train. We're the ones that missed the train. Okay. We are amongst the losers if we do not seek refuge in God. And I get it. I get it. So I didn't mean it. I didn't know I was going to talk this long, but I can be quite talkative. And you know what? I hope the individuals that are looking, they will share this content. But I have over 1,000 videos on my YouTube website and other social media platforms. I don't know about the other social media platforms, but YouTube. But the thing is, in the future, YouTube and Facebook may not even be relevant. But look up Clifton Raheem Bradley, and if you want to be a guest on the Underground Railroad podcast, you know what? Give me a call and we will sit down and discuss it. But I do need a talent release form. I do need that. Okay. Because there's strange things that happen. Once people see things on there and you say they may say things that they cannot take back, but I need a talent release form filled out before you even come on the show. So so you can't say, oh man, I don't want you to play that. And then I put time and energy and expertise, my little expertise into making content. And then you say, no, man, I don't even want it to come on out. You know what? That's a waste of my time. And what would be the purpose of me going to Kennedy King College and learning from Professor Dowell and Professor Abraham and and getting the knowledge about a talent release? And I went to school for it. You know, it doesn't make any sense. So I guess maybe I will put this on possibly Can TV and other social media platforms. I was gonna get rid of it. So yeah, salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi barakatuh. And if you're looking at this before Ramadan or after Ramadan, if you Ramadan Mubarak and consider Islam. I'm not saying that forcefully. I'm saying that subjectively. I'm suggesting that to you. And do some research. Do some research. You must do research before you come into a religion. Bef- You must know what you're coming into before you make a decision. Assalamu alaikum. Rahmatullahi barakatuh.